Congratulations, Chris. Good job.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back, baby. We're back streaming again. Chris was going to play hooky. I mean, I took 7 days off after my daughter was born, but that's because I'm like kind of a great father. One of the great fathers out there. But we got Chris here for a little.
Wait a second. Hang on. Sorry. Because you told me that you took a tour of the hospital and you didn't pay attention because you were too pilled out, and you offered no support whatsoever to your wife during her pregnancy or birth.
That was in a text, so slightly different than what goes on here. I did. I have a real bad habit of when somebody starts to give me directions, I zone out. I just get totally bored with them. And I didn't even tell you this, Chris. This was 2004, so I didn't even have a phone to look at. I just zoned out. I was just like, I don't.
2004, and so you still got 9/11 is still ever present in your mind at that point.
Probably what you were thinking about.
Yeah.
Mostly what I was thinking about was 9/11. I was like, how are we going to stop 9/11s from happening all the time? But Chris is at the hospital, hanging out, taking a night off, I guess, whatever. Sometimes we have time off,
I realized that, like, because I talk to you all the time, Brian. I realized I was like, the reason I wanted to do the stream was to talk to the audience, but I can't have this open and Twitch at the same time.
That sucks.
Ariel's phone. Ariel could, she's breastfeeding my newborn child right now, so she's a little bit busy. I can't really ask her to get her phone out so that I can see the Twitch chat.
Oh, this is so unorganized, unlike all the other Twitch streams we do on Sunday. I just have Michael Noland up. I don't even know what I'm going to play, but it feels weird. It feels weird playing the Tom and Bunny video that I wanted to play without you, Chris, because they are doing like a whole recap of the old fat men with hot chicks weekend at Hedonism.
Hell yeah.
And also Hedonism 2's Miss No Swimsuit weekend. They got like a 35-minute, thing. So I felt
there's a whole thing that's dedicated to like old fat disgusting guys with hot chicks.
Yes. That is a weekend they have there at Hedo. So that might work for me. I'm a disgusting guy.
Yeah. Like, listen, like you might be thinking all kinds of things about that right now, Chris, but you don't know what you're going to be like as an old guy. You might become an old fat guy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good chance I'll become an old fat guy and an old, like I'm sort of balding as well. You know what I mean? Like I have hair, but it's like I could become an old fat bald guy for sure.
Yeah. It's an option.
Yeah. KOLBOTN gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Guys, it's not going to be as good as when Chris is here when it comes to that, because I'm looking at Chris right now. I'm staring at Chris and Tony. So how was the labor? Chris, for people that listen to Guys Plus this week, they know that I was goofing on Chris for having the baby in his living room because it's like some hippie stuff. Mm-hmm. So
you did the home birth?
No, we didn't.
Yep. But they tried.
No, it's not even. Listen, I'm not going to. If for a different time to explain why it is that we did plan a home birth and we are at the hospital for a period of time. So it didn't exactly go. Listen, our baby's healthy. Ariel's healthy.
W's all around.
Yeah. W's all around. The baby's cute as can be and wonderful and breastfeeding already and pooping. But yeah, there was some stuff that came up, and so now here we are at the hospital. And yeah, it wasn't how we planned it, but really the important thing is to have a baby,
Yeah, but it's funny because we did the show, right, where I was kind of saying it's hippie crap, and then like 4 hours later, Chris texted me. I was like, "Oh, it's different in Canada than it is in the United States. It is actually hippie crap in the United States, but in Canada, it's better." And I was like,
I learned that from Ariel. She told me that the midwives aren't like affiliated with the medical system in America. It's like a totally outside of it. Whereas the midwife that we work with is like you either pick a midwife or a doctor, and the midwife works with the hospital. You know what I mean? Like they're like they have a whole. It's completely legitimate. So yeah, it is funny to think that when I was like talking about having a midwife and a home birth and stuff, that probably the American people were like, "Holy shit, this guy is a fucking weirdo."
We did the hippie thing. We had a home birth,
Sick.
and you can like you can. But the thing is, like, so when you go to the hospital, they don't give you the midwife option, but the midwife you get should be affiliated with a hospital.
Oh, okay.
They do work. They still work with the hospital.
Yeah.
But like they just don't tell you that. Like you have to. That's the whole thing here. It's like it sucks because home births are like a really cool thing, but they've been completely like taken over by like holistic anti-vaxxers here.
Yeah.
So like we did the whole thing and it was awesome, but then they were also like, also here's a crystal for your home birth.
Yeah.
And you know,
hang on
like
a second, though.
maybe don't do vaccinations.
Something, was it like one that you could connect to like audio cord?
the crystal.
Yeah.
I learned about that on audiophile, guys, that you can put these crystals on your audio cords and it makes the audio like a million times better.
It's funny because the one thing I said to Chris when he said it was a home birth, I was like, you know, at the hospital, they got all the drugs. And that's really like, I was jealously staring at my wife for a period of time in the hospital. Like, God, they're giving her all the shit. And I'm sitting here.
But you were also on drugs.
Sure, but I would have liked to get some that I didn't pay for. You know, she paid for it.
You pay for them. You do pay for them. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not giving those away at the American hospitals for sure. That's
cheap.
definitely on the bill.
Yeah, it's not cheap like it would be if you just went to Tijuana, like just roll down there and grab yourself a.
Yeah, I'm sure you were still getting a better deal than your wife was.
Sack of drugs from Tijuana.
Many people said, well, most people are stupid and they don't understand, but many people probably agreed with me. I didn't get any messages from any of them, but many of them were probably thinking this guy was pretty smart to go down to Tijuana. He just made a quick mistake by not.
Really? Because I got a lot of messages about it.
Like, I actually did. I actually saw that people were legitimately worried.
People were in the Discord were like, what is this guy's deal? Like, well, it's all fun and games until he gets arrested in Mexico and then we can't listen to the podcast anymore. You know?
I want to, somebody, Sheepykin says, Brian, you have a problem with drugs? That's not okay to stare at your wife who just gave birth wanting her meds. That was 20 years ago.
20 years ago, and he admittedly had a problem with drugs, so much so that he went to rehab and got off of those drugs.
Yes, I'm relatively clean, I promise. Like,
yeah, you can't exactly lie to them and say totally, because you did just tell a story about trying to go over the border to get.
That's vacation. That's recreational vacation drugs, dude.
It is funny that you didn't just like tell me you were trying to do that, because I would have made sure you were taken care of and all that.
Tony, I said the exact same thing to him. I know 100 people in Los Angeles that could have found that for him. And again, he was in Los Angeles. He wasn't even close to the border. I don't want to rehash all of this, but
yeah,
it's completely insane behavior.
Brian,
here's the thing where people don't realize how fucking huge California is.
Yeah,
it is. Well, I knew it was a 3-hour drive. I just knew I was willing to make a 3-hour drive to do it. You know?
Yeah. And I just wish you had told me too, because I would have loved to have gone with you. We would have had a great time in Tijuana. I got mad homies down there. We would have had a great time. We would have hit a natural wine bar and got some good drugs.
I blew it then. I really could have done it. So how's the baby doing now, Chris? Is it crying a lot?
The baby does tend to cry if I'm holding him. He wants the boob all the time. He wants to be on the boob. He wants to be feeding. But no, his temperament is pretty good. He's a good weight. He's taking some poops. He's crying a good amount. Yeah, he's latched on and he's breastfeeding. Like I said, we don't have to get a lactation consultant or anything.
He was like 6 weeks late, so you would think he probably is going to be talking by tomorrow or something.
Oh, okay, you can't use that one again. It wasn't 6 weeks late, as I explained to you before. That would be incredibly dangerous if he was 6 weeks late. No, he was 10 days late. 11.
Oh, he yelled out from this. I'm ready to come out now, and then they just kind of wandered out.
If it was 6 weeks, I'd be like, you got to get a damn job.
Listen, Brian,
start paying rent.
Brian, I can't even tell you how wrong you are, but another time maybe when we're more comfortable explaining everything that happened.
Yeah, I get it. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
Of course. And I'm greatly offended, and therefore I have to go now.
It's cancel culture.
I actually have to go. Though.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
not
see
fair
you.
of me in this sitting in the room here with Ariel, but I wanted to say hi to everyone and thank you for all the nice well wishes. We're all safe. We're all good. We're all happy and enjoying Mike. I was just saying enjoy Michael Nolan, but that's such ridiculous.
I don't even know if that's what we're doing yet. I just have him up because he's a default for me. Chris, we'll talk to you later. He'll be back soon. Don't worry, everybody. Goodbye, Chris.
Good job
Bye,
again.
Tony.
Congratulations to you and yours.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Chris.